Do I always tell my clients to hyperfocus responsibly? That is a question we are diving into today in our next mini episode of the Unconventional Business Podcast. Thanks for being here. Hope you are enjoying these mini 5-minute episodes. I'm really enjoying making them. It's a great chance to sit down each week and reflect on something. So this idea of hyperfocus responsibly, a bit like the Drink Responsibly campaign in the UK. It's my way of acknowledging that whilst it can be a real strength of having an ADHD brain, it's not necessarily a superpower. It doesn't come for free. And so my clients, they might say, I got loads done this week, ticked loads of things off my list, really got in the zone, but I'm knackered. I thought I'd have more energy today, but actually I might just need to crash out. And whilst that's okay, there is a way to kind of use this strength without it having to cost you so much. And this can also be a huge factor in burnout, which I spoke about on last week's mini episode. So the thing about hyperfocus is it feels really good. It feels really good when you're in it. I've seen it called God mode. You are in the zone, you're doing the things, you're smashing out the work, or maybe you're doing something physical, you're full of all the right hormones and you feel amazing and you feel capable and you feel like you could do it forever and you could rule the world and all of your challenges have disappeared. And what I have learned is that moment of euphoria is the exact moment you need to slow down, put everything down and take a break. And it's counterintuitive, which is why it's hard. Often what happens is we fall into hyperfocus. We're busy on a task, we're in the zone, and the rest of the world just kind of ceases to exist and we're fully engaged with what we're doing. And then what happens, of course, is if proprioception, which is your ability to listen to and read your own internal signals, is already not great, which is very common in neurodivergent folks, in that zone, you are very unlikely to hear the signals that you need a wee, or you need a drink, or you need to eat, or actually you're sat in the prawn position, and your back's killing you. And this is why it's so important to start catching that God mode, euphoria moment, and go against it, because that's when you'll give yourself space and time to tune in with some of those signals. I learned this lesson from the river. So I swim in the River Itchen in Winchester, where I live in the UK. I've been doing it for 5 years and I've learned so much about myself, my body, what I'm capable of, the effects of cold water, which, by the way, mimics the effect of a lot of ADHD medication. So yeah, I call the river my medication. Over time, you build up a tolerance to being in cold water, and actually you're not cold for very long, the first minute or so, and then your skin goes numb and it just feels tingly and amazing. And depending on what season it is, the air temperature, the water temperature, how tired you are, what time of the month it is, if you have a menstrual cycle, loads of factors. After about 10 minutes, or a bit less in the winter, that's when the euphoria kicks in. And I have a specific moment in the river, sometimes in the summer it'll be 20 minutes in, where I just think, I could swim in here forever. I feel amazing. I feel like a fucking dolphin, like I'm having the best time. And that's the moment where I go, oh, you need to get out. And what I've learned is that moment of euphoria is kind of hiding how close you are to hypothermia. And I think there's a real parallel. Building that skill to go against what my body is feeling has really helped me with hyperfocus. So now when I get that euphoric moment, when I am hyperfocused, I'm in the zone, I'm doing the thing. As soon as I feel like a god and like I could do it forever, that's the moment I go, whoa, take a step back. Let's take a break. And often I do find I need a wee, I need a snack, I need a drink. I have been sitting in some weird position and I need a stretch. And anyone can build this skill, right? Maybe in the beginning, if timers work for you, you set a timer for 20 minutes and you use that as a check-in point. Maybe you ask a friend to call you. One of the things I do is if I'm meeting someone out and about, a client, I will arrive half an hour early and just drop into hyperfocus because I know I'll get broken out of it. So I can safely be in the zone, and I know that at some point I'll get interrupted. Use external scaffolding if you need to initially, and then just experiment with what is that length of time, and it will be different on different days. But try to catch that moment of God mode, put everything down and see how you feel. And I would love to know, firstly, do you notice that God mode moment? Do you know what I'm talking about? Secondly, can you practice going against that and using that as a moment to check in? And thirdly, if you build this skill and you practice, do you notice that you crash out less? That there isn't this huge come down after your hyperfocus where you're absolutely wiped out and exhausted? Does it allow you to hyperfocus responsibly? Comment on this episode, drop me a message. I would love to hear from you, as always. And until next time, let's keep doing life and business differently.